Episode 1. The Hidden Manuscript. No one was supposed to read the desert, a place where time seems to stand still, holds secrets beneath its sandy expanse. For centuries, the winds have carried whispers of lost treasures, of ancient cities swallowed by time. Yet beneath the surface, one secret had been waiting for the right moment to be discovered. Wait, this feels different. This is no ordinary stone. What they uncovered, buried beneath centuries of sand, was more than an artifact. It was the beginning of a story that had been lost to history. The discovery was not an accident. It was fate. It's a chamber. Something's inside. A manuscript, it looks like. It was not just any manuscript. It was the Gospel of the Lost, a text that had been erased from the historical record. Thought to be a myth, the Gospel contained secrets so dangerous that they had been hidden from the world for centuries. The archaeologists had unearthed more than they ever expected. They had uncovered a revelation. The scholar had spent years searching for texts like this, hidden relics of the past, pieces of the forgotten puzzle of history. But nothing had prepared him for the weight of this discovery. It was as though the manuscript was not just a piece of history. It was alive, pulsing with its own energy, begging to be understood. For a scholar dedicated to unraveling the past, discovering an ancient manuscript was nothing new. But this text was different. It carried a message too profound to be ignored. The Gospel spoke of salvation, not through obedience but through rebellion. It challenged everything the scholar had been taught to believe about the divine order. The path to salvation lies not in obedience but in rebellion. What does this mean? The kingdom of heaven is not above, but within. The scholar's heart raced as he read further. The more he delved into the gospel, the more the words seemed to disrupt the very core of his being. These were not just theological concepts, they were a revolution in thought, a challenge to centuries of control, and with that challenge came an undeniable fear. If this gospel was revealed, it could unravel everything. This was no longer just an academic discovery, this was a burden. The scholar felt the weight of the text pressing down on him. The world could not remain ignorant of this truth, but how would it react? Could he be the one to unveil it? Or would he be swallowed by the very forces he sought to expose? In the 4th century, as the Christian faith took hold of the Roman Empire, the Church found itself at a crossroads with Constantine's conversion and the rise of Christianity as the state religion. The question of doctrine became paramount. What teachings would be accepted? What truths would be hidden from the masses? And most importantly, what could the Church control? This gospel is dangerous. It threatens our very existence. If it spreads, we will lose everything. The people will no longer follow us. They will follow the message of rebellion. It speaks of a kingdom of heaven that is within us all, not through the authority of the Church. We cannot allow this gospel to circulate. It must be destroyed, or it will undermine centuries of doctrine and turn people against the Church. This is not just a book, it is a weapon. The bishops knew that if the gospel's message reached the masses, it would dismantle everything they had fought to establish. Their power, their influence built on centuries of control, would be reduced to rubble. And so the decision was made. The gospel must be buried, erased from history, and so the gospel was sealed away, hidden from the world. A decision made in fear, a decision that would forever keep its secrets from those who needed it most. For centuries, this gospel was hidden, locked away in a vault buried beneath layers of time. It was thought to be gone lost forever, in the shadow of history. But secrets, no matter how deeply buried, are always waiting to resurface. The scholar has reached the moment of truth. To reveal the gospel is to change everything, to reveal a truth that will not be silenced. But he knows that to do so will invite danger, danger that has already started to close in. The forces that seek to suppress the gospel will stop at nothing to keep it buried. The truth, it's too powerful. It could change everything. Can I carry the weight of it? Can I bear the consequences? But the truth is, a fire that cannot be contained. And now the scholar must choose to bury the gospel again, or to set its message free and risk everything, his career, his safety, and even his life. Next time on The Gospel. They tried to bury the scholar's decision will have consequences far beyond his control. A shadowy group closes in on him, and the truth he holds threatens to ignite a war between power and freedom. What will happen when the gospel's message is revealed to the world? Only on the Silent Libraries. Subscribe and share the hidden truths.